for the camera.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Okay, we're ready. Oop. Yeah.
Good evening and welcome to the regular meeting of the Council of the City of Long Beach, held Thursday, October 6, 2022 at 7 p.m. We'll have a roll call. Councilmember Pastorelli,
Here.
Councilmember Lester,
Here.
Councilmember Member Bendo,
Present.
Vice President Treston,
Here.
and President McGinnis.
Present.
Let the record indicate the presence of City Manager Donna Gayton and Corporation Counsel Richard Barrios. We'll now have a salute to the flag.
Mr. Bendo, will you please lead us in the pledge?
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, and welcome to the October 6th meeting of the Long Beach City Council. At this time, I'll hand it over to City Manager Donna Gayton.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Our first report will be from Corporation Counsel Rich Barrios about the Long Island Railroad.
Good evening, all. Per my last, update, we were still discussing and negotiating some finer points of that agreement. We're still doing the same exact thing. As I said, my hope was to have it by this meeting, if not sometime at the next meeting. We are working diligently to close this out, and as soon as we do, it'll be on the agenda.
Thank you very much. The last person coming up is Mr. John McNally that will talk about city activities.
Good evening, everybody. We didn't have the mic stand over there, so we're back to the center for today. City managers asked me to give a couple of quick updates. Number one, to, make the announcement or reiterate the announcement that Department of Transportation has launched an initiative to sell bus passes. Heretofore, it had always been exact change cash. That's not exactly the most convenient tender at this stage of the game, so as an option to make it a little bit more convenient for our residents and riders, we are now selling passes. You can either do 10 trips or 20 trips, and they can be purchased at the clerk's office during normal office hours for City Hall. And the second thing, anyone that is here tonight that walked in knows that this weekend is Fall Festival. Setup is well underway outside. It's from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. both Saturday and Sunday this weekend. All the favorites are back: Pumpkin Patch, Haunted Maze, Carousel, Kids Fruit Cup Rides, Ferris Wheels, Giant Slides, Bouncy Houses. You get the idea. We have Vendor Village. We have the food and wine tent. There's also food outside of the food and wine tent. The children's costume parade is taking place at 12 o'clock on Saturday. And in honor of the centennial, we are bringing back the much-beloved Bake Off, which will take place on Sunday. As the council is well aware, this is an event that has cost the city money, pretty significant dollars over the years. We think because we have a presenting sponsor in Equinor, we have a ton of sponsors, but Equinor is the presenting sponsor. Scoot and Surf, PSEG, and National Grid are other sponsors, and there's 20 or 30 more. We think they are going to allow us to break even this year. So that's great. We can have a festival that actually does not cost our taxpayers a ton of money, and everybody gets to have fun and enjoy it. So thank you to Equinor and all of our other sponsors.
Thank you.
John, I have a question. Where did you say the bus passes can be bought? Here
In the clerk's office in City Hall, yes.
Okay. What about selling them on the bus? Like the Atlantic Beach Bridge does. When you pass in, you can buy a pass right there.
That's something that we can take under advisement and look at.
Okay. I think we'd sell a lot more.
You might very well be right.
All right. Thanks.
That concludes my report.
I have a question before we
Yes.
begin. I'm sorry, Roy. Mr. Barrios, can you tell us where we are on the fire department contract? And if we can't talk about it, I would like to move
Sure,
before we
yeah.
go to executive
The
session.
recommendation I would make is to make a motion to go into executive session in order to discuss collective negotiations pursuant to Article 14 of the Civil Service Law.
I make a motion to go into executive session.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. This
Do we
time
have
we're
to-
going into
Well, do-
executive session. Oh, we have to vote, I'm sorry.
We have to vote.
We have to vote.
Introduced by trustees. Councilman Member Pastorelli,
Yes.
Councilmember Lester,
Yes.
Councilmember Bendo,
Yes.
Vice President Treston,
Yes.
President McGinnis.
Yes.
For those viewing at home, we're just going to leave the feed running. So everyone in-house, mind your P's and Q's, because everyone at home is going to be listening to you.
Nothing. I'm going to just take my word. Tina, grab the door.
Yeah, we'll have to, we're just rolling it out to see how it is first.
Should I say that too? Okay. Thank you. Okay, the council has returned from executive session. No formal vote was taken, nor was any money appropriated. Oh. For those of you who are new, I just want to make sure you know that we have a good and welfare. You can sign up for good and welfare through the end of the council meeting, and the sheets are over by the gentleman standing near the window. Okay.
Thank you.
Public hearing number 1, resolution granting waiver of off-street parking requirements regarding premises at 220 West Park Avenue, street floor, Long Beach, New York, regarding coffee shop and golf simulator.
Good evening. Can you please state your name and address?
Natalie Spielberg, 762 Shore Road.
Good
Natalie,
evening.
I'm sorry, can you just talk to the microphone?
Yeah, Natalie Spielberg,
Okay.
762 Shore Road, Long
Okay.
Beach, New York.
And you plan on opening Long Beach Coffee at 220 West Park Avenue?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And can you please tell us your hours of operation
Roughly 7 to 7 daily.
every day?
Yes, ma'am.
And how many employees?
About a half a dozen.
And what percentage of your employees will be Long Beach residents?
At least 50%.
Okay. And what is the maximum customer capacity during your peak hours of operation?
20.
Okay. Council members, do you have any questions?
I do.
Yeah.
What's a golf simulator?
It's basically a screen, and you set up just like you would hit on a regular golf course, and you hit your ball into the screen, and it
Like we.
gives you,
Yeah.
you get that ball back, and it tells you your metrics and your spin, and it's kind of like a video game.
But you never actually hit a ball.
You hit a real ball with
Oh,
your clubs. Yeah.
You hit a real
There's
ball.
a turf. You hit a real life ball.
And where does the ball go?
It goes into a hitting screen.
Into the back of the...
Yeah, from 5 feet away.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
And any other questions from the council?
Just a clarification. On the application, it says that you haven't had a business in Long Beach before.
I have not.
But then in the comments, it says you live and work in the city.
I do.
So,
I am a sales rep for a beer distributor. So I have a lot of
Oh, so you-
clients.
okay,
So I
okay.
work here in my
but
day
you
job.
haven't had a bit, okay, that's what I was just looking, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just had something we've been asking people is, are you amenable to putting bike racks?
Yeah, there actually is an existing one.
Yeah.
There
Okay.
by the
Keeping-
property. I would actually like a bike rack.
Great.
Are there any questions from the public? Okay, at this time I'll close the hearing.
I'd like to move that we vote.
Okay?
Who will move to introduce and move the adoption of item 1, resolution granting waiver of off-street parking requirements regarding premises 220 West Park Avenue, street floor, Long Beach, New York, regarding the coffee shop and golf simulator.
I will.
Who will second?
I will.
Voting, Councilmember Posterly,
Yes.
Councilmember Lester,
Yes.
Councilmember Bendo,
I think it's going to be hysterical when the drunks from Billy's go in there to hit golf balls. Yes, and good luck.
Thank you.
Vice President Treston,
Yes, and welcome.
Thanks.
President McGinnis.
Yes, and congratulations and good luck. Thank you.
So much.
Thank you. You're done.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Have a good night.
Good luck.
We closed at 7. At 7.
Public hearing number 2, local law amending the charter of the City of Long Beach regarding assessment, levy, collection of taxes.
Hello, Ray. Our tax assessor, Ray Flammer.
Good evening. This first public hearing is concerning the senior citizen and limited income exemption. This is to increase the income limits up to $43,400. They were $32,400. The governor recently signed legislation increasing the limit. Nassau County as well increased their limit. And our limit is taking the 2006 approved limit and adjusting it for inflation to today's value, today's income. I have identified about 60 households that may qualify, and we're ready to send them applications. And in the future, the City Council has the option of increasing the income limit if they so choose to. This would take effect immediately for the 23-24 assessment roll, and the filing deadline for applications would be December 1st. I think I covered
And the
that.
last time this was updated was when?
We haven't updated it. The city hasn't updated their law since 2006.
And what metric are you using?
I use the federal U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics CPI inflation calculator, the same that is used by Social Security Administration to calculate the inflation.
Very good. Any questions from the council? Any questions from the public on this item? Okay, the hearing is closed.
Public hearing number 3, local law amending the charter of the City of Long Beach regarding assessment, levy, collection of taxes.
Hello.
Okay, hello again. This is to change the limited income of persons with disability exemption. This exemption we haven't updated since 2006 as well. We adjusted the income limit to the inflation calculator, and it's now we're going up to, sorry, I don't know off the top of my head, 39,000 actually? 37,000, I'm sorry. And as well, the governor recently signed the legislation. Nassau County as well passed their legislation last month. And the city council also can, if they so choose, to increase the limit moving forward to the state cap. This will take effect for the 23-24 assessment roll, and the filing deadline is December 1st as well. It's estimated there will be about maybe 5 to 10 more applications for this exemption.
Any questions from the council? Mr. Lester?
Yes. There's an income offset for medical expenses for the seniors, but not for the disabled. If at some time in the future we wanted to put that in, we could?
Yes, we can.
Okay. It just seems, it's a little tough to live in Long Beach on 29,000.
I agree.
Any questions from the public on this item? Seeing none, the hearing is closed.
Public hearing number 4, local law amending the charter of the City of Long Beach regarding assessment, levy, collection of taxes.
Mr. Flammer?
Hello again.
Hi.
This public law is to opt out of real property tax law 47, which is the solar, wind, or certain other energy system exemption. This was a state law from 1977, and it allowed a 15-year exemption for any of that equipment. We've never had one exemption for this, as we've never increased due to solar panels or wind farms. Many municipalities lately have been opting out of this exemption, and if any future wind farms were to be built and to run a cable through the city, that equipment would then become taxable. The Island Park and Oceanside School District have already opted out. They opted out last May. I believe we've notified the school district in Long Beach that we are opting out and gave them the pertinent information. Also, if any house were to get an increase for assessment due to their solar equipment or any battery equipment, they would still qualify under the home improvement exemption, which would be an 8-year phase-in as opposed to the 15-year exemption.
Ray, I do want to thank you for bringing this to our attention. I appreciate your strategic foresight to get this through. Any questions from the council? Mr. Lester?
Yes, Ray, it says a tax exemption, but unlike the seniors, which has how much the exemption is this a full exemption?
It's a full 15-year exemption.
So they pay no taxes?
Yes, they pay no taxes on it.
If we don't opt out of this. And that, I assume that's the same in the one before with the disability, that's a full exemption too?
That's a 50% exemption.
50?
Yeah, it's 50. It would be a 50% of their assessment would be exempt.
Okay.
Any questions from the public on this item? Seeing none, the hearing is closed.
Public hearing number 5, local law amending the charter of the City of Long Beach regarding assessment, levy, collection of taxes.
Mr. Flammer?
Hello again. This is for the business investment exemption, real property tax law 485B. The City Council originally opted out in 1985. That was before the Stop and Shop Plaza was constructed. This exemption, I think we're putting forward because we'd like to see some economic development in our commercial sector. We need a diverse tax base, and we haven't had much actual commercial development or industrial development. We've had apartments built, but not anything that creates long-term jobs. This would take any commercial property that expands their business and gets an increase in assessment and phases in half of the increase over a 10-year period. This would not include mixed-use buildings and/or apartments. I'd like to note that we had a federal opportunity zone in the city, which only one property took advantage of. And hopefully this would spur some economic development in our commercial sector.
Okay. Any questions from the council?
I don't have a question, just a comment that I'd like to thank you and your department for looking out for the best interest of the city and economic development.
Thank you. That's appreciated. You're
Mr. Lester?
Yes, Ray, under this, somebody who has a business right now, if they want to improve the business, they get the exemption?
That is correct.
Thanks.
Okay. Any questions from the public on this item? Seeing none, the hearing is closed.
On to the regular calendar. Item number 2, local law amending the charter of the City of Long Beach regarding assessment, levy, collection of taxes. A hearing has been held on this item already. Item number 3, local law amending the charter of the City of Long Beach regarding assessment, levy, collection of taxes. A hearing has been held on this item already. Item number 4, local law amending the charter of the City of Long Beach regarding assessment, levy, collection of taxes. A hearing has been held on this item already. Item number 5, local law amending the charter of the City of Long Beach regarding assessment, levy, collection of taxes. A hearing has been held on this item already. Item number 6, resolution authorizing a correction of error of error appearing on the 2022-23 assessment tax rolls of the City of Long Beach.
Mr. Flammer.
Good evening again. This is to correct an error that my department made. The homeowner submitted a real property tax form 554, which is a correction error form. We erroneously kept a second sanitation charge on the property, which it should have been removed. And this is to get authorization to give him a refund for $605, as I do not have the authority to hand money to people.
Very good. Any questions from the council? Any questions from the public? Seeing none? Okay.
Item number 7, resolution authorizing a transfer of funds for the 2022-2023 fiscal year.
Mr. Flammer.
Good evening again. This resolution is to move funds in my department to hire a full-time employee. We're going to hopefully bring a part-timer on full-time. This will allow us to further train that person, have her become a appraisal apprentice, and in the upcoming new year, we're going to be going live and doing a data conversion with new assessment software, which is going to be complicated, and to have someone full-time at the ground level would benefit my department. Funds are available, obviously, in the part-timer line, but as well as our consultant line, as we settled a few cases and will not need that funding for the budgeted consultants.
Okay. Any questions from the council?
I do.
Mr. Lester?
Yes, and I don't know, Ray, if this is actually a question for you. I think it's more Donna or Ina. Donna, do we have any type of metrics as to the longevity of part-timers as opposed to full-timers?
Let me check on that. I'm
Okay.
not sure, but if we don't, we would start creating one.
I just, to me, it seems like if someone's made full-time, they are going to stay here longer than a part-timer, but I don't know. I don't know
Right.
if that's actually the case.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Any questions from the public on this item? Seeing none? Ray, I think you're done.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Item number 8, resolution authorizing the city manager to accept funds from the New York State Municipal Workers' Compensation Alliance.
Good evening, everyone. Just going to jump in, make one recommendation on an amendment to this item. Amanda, I'll give you the language. I can email it to you, so that way you don't have to write vigorously. So it's the fourth whereas clause, and we're literally just changing the total amount from $41,186,000 to $41,686 to account for an additional $500 check that was submitted by the Workers' Comp Alliance to us representing this, this loyalty award.
Moved. Second? Anyone second?
Oh, sorry.
I'll second.
Okay.
Councilmember
Yes.
Minder Pastorelli?
Yes.
Councilmember Lester?
Yes.
Councilmember Bendo?
Yes.
Vice President Treston?
Yes.
President McGinnis?
Yes.
All right, this is a pretty self-explanatory resolution, but we're a part of the New York State Municipal Workers' Compensation Alliance. As the resolution indicates, it's a not-for-profit workers' compensation group. It's a self-insurance program. A bunch of municipalities and school districts use it. We focus on workplace safety and improving workplace safety and stable funding for all its members. Every year, Comp Alliance basically does an accounting of everything and gives loyalty awards back to its clients. We received one last year, and we're receiving one again this year. And again, 2 checks. Total amount is $41,686 for being such good members, I guess.
Any questions from the council?
Yes. Donna, we get this every year, but we don't, since we don't know the amount, we don't put it in our budget? Is that?
That's correct.
Okay. But what do we usually average around the same amount, or?
I don't know exactly what we got last year, but it was kind of in the ballpark. We're not guaranteed that loyalty
Right.
award depending on how municipalities perform. So if our claims are through the roof and our premiums are going up, we might not get the same award, but for the last couple of years, I think we've tracked.
And there's no way to put an estimate into the budget?
At this time, no.
No, not at this time. I mean,
I hear
if we're
Ina
doing
saying
this
no.
every year.
It's not money
No,
we're supposed
at
to
this
get.
time, no, we can't put it in the budget because we don't know exactly how much we're going to
We
get.
don't know how much we're going to get from anything, from the beach,
Well,
from
this-
taxes, from anything.
This is a bonus.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, listen, bonus is a bonus.
Any questions from the public on this item? Seeing none?
Item number 9, resolution authorizing the city manager to purchase desktop computers for various city departments through New York State Office of General Services.
This resolution is to purchase desktop computers to replace a lot of old computers throughout the city. All of the software that's on the computers, currently, it will be implemented on the new computers, and of course, they will be much faster, and then they will have a much longer life. The computers that the staff have now, some of them are really not working at all. And I know in the initial packet, it was the list of all of the different departments that it was going to.
And is it in the capital budget? Or, no, this is an operating account number? Okay.
Yeah,
It
It's
is,
an
is.
operating
It's an
account.
operating account number,
Okay.
so it's budgeted for.
okay. Any questions from the council?
Yes.
Mr. Lester?
Donna, who services the 33 that we have that are, is that all Jamie?
No, it's IT. It could be, we have 2 people in IT that can service them.
And they're all servicing these?
The
33?
old ones,
The old ones,
as much as they can.
okay.
Yeah.
So we'll basically be freeing up 2 people.
Yes,
Okay, and my understanding is these new computers come with a 3-year,
yeah, 3-year
full service?
full service warranty.
Yeah, like my Kia, only
Yeah.
my Kia's 10 years, all right. Okay, well, that sounds good.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions from the council? Okay. Any questions from the public on this item? And seeing none?
Item number 10, resolution authorizing publication for hearing of a local law amending the charter of the City of Long Beach regarding miscellaneous provisions. This item is for publication only. A hearing will be held on October 18th at 7 p.m.
Okay. Item 11?
Item 11, resolution authorizing publication for hearing of a local law amending the charter of the City of Long Beach regarding city officers. This item is for publication only. A hearing will be held on October 18th at 7 p.m.
And one more?
Item number 12, resolution authorizing
I'm sorry.
publication of hearing of a local law amending the charter of the City of Long Beach regarding city officers. This item is for publication only. A hearing will be held on October 18th at 7 p.m.
And the final one.
Yes. Okay. Item 13, resolution authorizing publication for hearing of an ordinance authorizing financing for various capital projects in and for the city, stating the estimated total cost thereof of $11,296,749. Appropriating said amount, therefore including the expenditure of any state or federal aid expected to be received in connection therewith, and authorizing the issuance of not to exceed $8,377,000 in bonds of said city to finance a portion of said appropriation, and further authorizing any amounts received from the United States of America and/or the state of New York to be expended towards the cost of such capital projects as indicated herein, or redemption of any notes and bonds issued therefore, or to be budgeted as an offset to the taxes for payment of the principal of and interest on said notes and bonds. This item is for publication only. A hearing will be held on October 18th at 7 p.m.
Okay.
All right. And item 18, approval of minutes of prior meeting of September 6, 2022. Do I have a motion to approve?
I move that we approve the minutes.
Who will second?
I will.
Voting, Councilmember Pastorelli,
Yes.
Councilmember Lester,
Yes.
Councilmember Bendo,
Yes.
Vice President Treston,
Yes.
President McGinnis.
Yes.
We will now move on to the voting. We did item number 1, I'm sorry. Item number 2, local law amending the charter of the City of Long Beach regarding assessment levy collection of taxes. Who will introduce and move the adoption of item number 2?
I will.
Who will second?
I will.
Voting, Councilmember Pastorelli,
Yes.
Councilmember Lester,
Yes.
Councilmember Bendo,
Yes.
Vice President Treston,
Yes.
President McGinnis.
Yes.
Item number 3, local law amending the charter of the City of Long Beach regarding assessment levy collection of taxes. Who will introduce and move the adoption of item number 3?
I will.
Who will second?
I will.
Voting, Councilmember Pastorelli,
Yes.
Councilmember Lester,
Yes, I think this is a good thing, but I'm hoping that we can improve it with a offset for medical in the future.
Councilmember Bendo,
Yes.
Vice President Treston,
Yes, and thank you, Roy, for taking up my cause.
and President McGinnis.
Yes.
Item number 4, local law amending the charter of the City of Long Beach regarding assessment levy collection of taxes. Who will introduce and move the adoption of item number 4?
I will.
Who will second?
I will.
On to the voting, Councilmember Pastorelli,
Yes.
Councilmember Lester,
Given what hopefully is going to be coming through here, I think this is a great thing and a great thing for the city because hopefully we're going to get some good money out of this. I vote yes.
Councilmember Bendo,
Yes.
Vice President Treston,
Yes.
President McGinnis.
Yes.
Item number 5, local law amending the charter of the City of Long Beach regarding assessment levy collection of taxes. Who will introduce and move the adoption of item number 5?
I will.
Who will second?
I will.
On to the voting, Councilmember Pastorelli,
Yes.
Councilmember Lester,
I think at this time we're not rich enough to give this kind of exemption to people who want to improve their businesses or their properties. It's a 50% exemption for a year, and it's just a costly thing. I'm voting no.
Councilmember Bendo,
Yes.
Vice President Treston,
Yes.
President McGinnis.
Yes.
Item number 6, resolution authorizing a correction of error appearing on the 2022-23 assessment tax rolls of the City of Long Beach. Who will introduce and move the adoption of item number 6?
I will.
Who will second?
I will.
Good.
I will.
On to the voting. Councilmember Pastorelli?
Yes.
Councilmember Lester?
Yes.
Councilmember Bendo?
Yes.
Vice President Treston?
Yes.
President McGinnis?
Yes.
Item number 7, resolution authorizing a transfer of funds for the 2022-2023 fiscal year. Who will introduce and move the adoption of item number 7?
I will.
Who will second?
I,
Roy got it.
Roy got it.
On to the voting. Councilmember Pastorelli?
Yes.
Councilmember Lester?
Yes.
Councilmember Bendo?
Yes.
Vice President Treston?
Yes.
And President McGinnis?
I am voting no because I am not comfortable with adding a full-time employee without a comprehensive analysis of the entire staff.
Item number 8, resolution authorizing the city manager to accept funds from the New York State Municipal Workers' Compensation Alliance as amended. Who will introduce and move the adoption of item number 8?
I will.
Who will second?
I will.
On to the voting. Councilmember Pastorelli?
Yes.
Councilmember Lester?
Yes.
Councilmember Bendo?
Yes.
Vice President Treston?
Yes.
President McGinnis?
Yes.
Item number 9, resolution authorizing the city manager to purchase desktop computers for various city departments through the New York State Office of General Services. Who will introduce and move the adoption of item number 9?
I will.
Who will second?
I will.
On to the voting. Councilmember Pastorelli?
Yes.
Councilmember Lester?
Yes.
Councilmember Bendo?
Yes.
Vice President Treston?
Yes.
President McGinnis?
Yes.
Item 10, resolution authorizing publication for hearing of a local law amending the charter of the City of Long Beach regarding miscellaneous provisions. Who will introduce and move the adoption of item 10?
I will.
Who will second?
I will.
Voting. Councilmember Pastorelli?
Yes.
Councilmember Lester?
Yes.
Councilmember Bendo?
Yes.
Vice President Treston?
Yes.
President McGinnis?
Yes.
Item 11, resolution authorizing publication for hearing of a local law amending the charter of the City of Long Beach regarding city officers. Who will introduce and move the adoption of item 11?
I will.
Who will second?
I will.
Voting. Councilmember Pastorelli?
Yes.
Councilmember Lester?
Yes.
Councilmember Bendo?
Yes.
Vice President Treston?
Yes.
President McGinnis?
Yes.
Item 12, resolution authorizing publication for hearing of a local law amending the charter of the City of Long Beach regarding city officers. Who will introduce and move the adoption of item 12?
I will.
Who will second?
I will.
On to the voting. Councilmember Pastorelli?
Yes.
Councilmember Lester?
Yes.
Councilmember Bendo?
Yes.
Vice President Treston?
Yes.
President McGinnis?
Yes.
Item 13, resolution authorizing publication for hearing of an ordinance authorizing financing of various capital projects in and for the city, stating the estimated total cost thereof is $11,296,749, appropriating said amount therefore, including the expenditure of any state or federal aid expected to be received in connection therewith, and authorizing the issuance of not to exceed $8,377,000 bonds of said city to finance a portion of said appropriation, and further authorizing any amounts received from the United States of America and/or the state of New York to be expended towards the cost of certain such capital projects as indicated herein, or redemption of any notes and bonds issued, therefore, or to be budgeted as an offset to the taxes for payment of the principal of and interest on said notes and bonds. Who will introduce and move the adoption of item 13?
I will.
Who will second?
I will.
Voting, Councilmember Pastorelli,
Yes.
Councilmember Lester,
Yes.
Councilmember Bendo,
Yes.
Vice President Treston,
Yes.
President McGinnis.
Yes.
We will now close the meeting. Who will make a motion to close the meeting?
I will.
Who will second?
I will.
Voting, Councilmember Pastorelli,
Yes.
Councilmember Lester,
Yes.
Councilmember Bendo,
Yes.
Vice President Treston,
Yes.
President McGinnis.
Yes.
Let's have a round of applause for
We
Amending.
have one request for good and welfare tonight, Judy Vining.
Lonely up here tonight.
Good evening.
I really just wanted to remind you, because there was such a strong presentation last week in terms of what most of Long Beach wants in terms of legalization, not legalization, in terms of dispensaries. And then there was a pretty strong op-ed piece in Newsday as well yesterday. I don't claim to speak for all of Long Beach. I don't think anybody else can. But I'm here to remind you guys that you have it in your hands to find out. What the MARTA law gave you was the ability to put a referendum on next November's ballot so that the community can tell you what they want. I don't claim to know. I don't think you guys all know. I don't think you want to make that decision for the community. I don't. And if the community wants it, then we work together to make it a safe and a viable way so that we can have what the community wants and yet keep our community family safe and healthy. But again, you have that opportunity to do that, and I would urge you to consider putting it on the referendum on the next November ballot, and then we know what the community wants. We're not guessing, because we all know that, loud people on one side, loud people on the other side, but that doesn't constitute 35,000 residents. Just a reminder.
Judy, I'm sorry. Did you say we have the right to put it on this November
No.
or next November?
Next November.
That's what I-
You would have had the right to put it.
Actually, we do not have the ability to do it. The way the law was written is that the public needed to get a certain number of petition signatures, which they then submitted, get
Correct.
reviewed. That's what triggers a referendum.
Correct.
We cannot trigger a referendum.
No, no, no.
And they did not get the adequate number
remember
of
that.
petition signatures, so there is no opportunity to do a referendum anymore.
Well, no, it still
We
could
all
happen
thought
next.
there would have been one.
It still could happen, actually, if enough people got a petition up for next November.
No, it's too late. There was a window that they had to get the signatures, and that window has passed.
Only one
Rich,
window? Yeah.
Mr. Barrios, can you comment on that, please?
I believe we presented on this during that vote, and that was my recollection of what we went through. The idea being that
That was the
the
original
only way
vote,
we're
yeah.
allowed to conduct referenda is if the state allows us to do so, or if it fundamentally changes our form of government, or a couple of other things.
Right.
The law, as it was written, specifically gave a window to trigger that petition. There
Got
were
it.
not enough signatures gathered for that petition.
I
We
remember
cannot
that.
unilaterally present something for a vote without specific authority to do so, unfortunately.
So that puts it right back on your shoulders, unless some of the regs from the Office of Cannabis Management change, because they're not there yet in terms of, other than someone who's been incarcerated or had a family member incarcerated due to marijuana offense. So we don't know yet what's coming down the road from the Office of Cannabis Management. They just closed out, and I believe you guys signed it, actually, from the supervisors, a letter asking for more specificity on the advertising regulations that they put out. Which were,
Some council members signed that
right,
letter.
which were, and so did a lot of county supervisors.
Yes.
And there were great recommendations, because the recommendations for cannabis were so much weaker than those for alcohol, and we know how well those are enforced, so you can imagine. So I think it's a situation that needs to keep monitored, so that as these regulations come up, I mean, we monitor, I'll share with you what we know when we get it statewide, but we can certainly share with you the specificity when it comes there. Okay?
Thank you.
I still am confused, Rich. Maybe you can help. A regular referendum, people can petition for a regular referendum.
At this moment, no.
No, I'm not talking about marijuana. I'm talking about a regular referendum. If I wanted to paint the fire trucks bright green, something, I could.
But I think that the MARTA law prohibits it.
The what?
Marijuana taxation law prohibits a lot. It really takes away a lot of the rights from any municipality.
Rich always comes up with an answer.
Just don't want to I don't want to say anything different than what I said last time. I think I did a lot of research when we first went through this. I believe that you need specific state authorization to issue referenda, right? So if it's either through municipal home rule law or a specific state act that grants you that ability as a body to trigger a referenda. And certain scenarios like changing the form of government from city manager to mayor, things like that. This specific law gave a time trigger on the petition. So there's a referenda by petition,
Right.
which is the permissive one.
Right.
The criteria for that weren't met or was not met
But
at that time.
Did it at any point prohibit a subsequent referendum?
Well,
I'd
it's
have to
much-
read the law again. I'm pretty sure it doesn't give you a second bite at the apple. I'm kind of comfortable in that, but I'll take a closer look at the law and
Yeah.
give you a report.
Yeah, I don't believe it had a back door to do
No, it did not.
to do a second
Similarly to,
shot at a referendum.
Similar to the SLA, where we have very little local control also. It's patterned the same way.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Judy.
Good night, everybody, and see you at the Fall Festival this weekend.